I'm Linda Serro, and I am Director of the Lucas Center for Faculty Development here at FGCU. Helping me today is Dr. Kris Welde, who is Associate Dean of Undergraduate Studies here at FGCU. As a mentor coach, you have several roles and responsibilities. Primarily, you are going to be working with a very new faculty member here at FGCU, and we are expecting you to be a coach and not be a guru, not know everything about everything that they might need help with. We expect you to meet with them 3 times over the semester and to help them facilitate their learning as a new professor. Ask really good questions. Ask deep questions, not just how are you doing today. Besides that, we expect you to go and observe them twice over the semester and discuss what you see and how they've grown, and then invite them into your classroom to see how you interact with your students. Thank you again for this, and we hope you enjoy your semester with us.
I had a really wonderful experience as a mentor coach. I've certainly been a coach or mentor to individuals in the past in a formal way and in a more formal way, but this was a pretty unique experience, primarily because it is quite structured, and you are expected to be a coach, not a guru, as Linda mentioned. This is where the guide can be really, really helpful. I would encourage you all to read it, highlight it, take notes on it, really think about how the relationship that you're establishing with your coach, E, fits into a broader structure, into a broader program, which is the New Faculty Academy. And your role is to really give them some advice and just be a sounding board for them on various issues. In terms of the classroom observation, it's important to try to not impose how you would approach teaching that particular subject matter or those particular students. Really try to find the strengths in the person that you're coaching and things that they do, and also provide them some constructive advice about maybe what they could try or things that you observed as an outsider from that. Again, the guide becomes really helpful, particularly because there is a pre and post guide for questions to sort of guide you through that process, as well as a variety of tools to help structure your observation. What I would suggest is that you talk about this with your mentee prior to your classroom observation. Which form are you going to use? What is the experience going to be like? What is the context of the lesson in which you are observing? And really develop collaboratively what that experience is going to be like, as opposed to coming in and sort of spying on them or snooping on them. See it as something that will be potentially mutually beneficial. In terms of the meetings that you have with your mentees, I would also suggest structure around that. It's wonderful if you build a friendship with this person, but that's not the goal of this program. The goal is to coach folks through whatever difficulties they're having their first semester. Honestly, think back to your first semester. What did you need? You may not need a best friend. You may just have needed somebody to remind you of deadlines and give you some support in times of difficulty throughout the semester. And so, for the meetings, I would strongly suggest you make a brief, informal agenda, just sort of points that you would like to hit on with your mentee and that also they would like to hit on. And let them talk first. Let them tell you what's going on with them first. But then really try to get to the points that you've set aside to discuss for that day. Otherwise, it will be just kind of forced because you're not friends and you're trying to talk about things that you may or may not have in common. So keeping it a little bit formal with a structure and within the program of the New Faculty Academy will be really helpful. I had some really interesting revelations about myself through this program. Again, I think I've had lots of informal and formal mentoring experiences being on both sides of that relationship, but because this was structured in a way that was really geared away, sort of the focus was away from me and it was really on the mentee, it allowed me to focus on the person that I was matched with and really try to help them through their first year. And so I learned that I can be really helpful to someone because I've been at FGCU for a long time, and so I intuitively sort of know when deadlines are coming up. I know how to navigate certain aspects of the university that I might take for granted, and being matched with a brand new person really helped me see that they could benefit from some of that information. And that's purely helpful in terms of logistical kinds of things. It was also a wonderful benefit to be paired with someone that was completely outside of my discipline. I think this is actually a strength of the program, and hopefully you will get matched with someone that is not in your department and not in your program, that, according to the literature and personal experience, can actually be really beneficial, because you can develop a different kind of trust with someone that you're not seeing regularly in the hallway, at department meetings, program meetings, and that can be a real strength, and they can potentially trust you with questions that they have that they might not be able to if you were within their same program or department. And lastly, I will say the classroom observation was amazing. It was wonderful. The person that I was matched with was a very good teacher, so that helped. But I found myself really sort of captivated by the content material, and I learned a whole lot about a completely different area than my own, which is sociology, and I just really enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun. I actually thought about going back to the classroom as a student because of that experience.
When you applied to be a mentor coach, you answered two questions. One, why did you want to be a coach? And secondly, what are your beliefs about teaching and learning? We take those essays, I would call them, and put them in a document without your name. And we give them to all the new faculty to read. And I ask them to pick 3 that resonate with them. From those 3, I try to match you with a new faculty person. So that's why you're probably not with someone in your department, but you are matched with someone who seems to resonate, who has the same beliefs about teaching and learning as you do. And as Kris said earlier, that seems to be one of the strengths of our program. Because of this, I want to really point out to you that any observations you do, any written documents you have with your mentee are between the two of you. They're not turned in to the Lucas Center. They're not turned into chairs. No one sees them unless that mentee chooses to share them with someone else. So keep that in mind whenever you're working with your mentee.
The book club associated with being a mentor coach is a new thing that is part of this program, and I am really excited about it. I'm grateful and honored that Linda has invited me to lead this book club. The book that we'll be reading is Starting Strong, and the subtitle is Strategies for Success in the First 90 Days. Don't you wish you would have had this? So we'll be reading this book throughout the early part of the semester because obviously it's framed as a starting strong, and so we want to kick things off right. What we will do is meet 4 times throughout the semester, and we will meet in the Lucas Center living room, where we are right now. And our first meeting is September 14th at 1 p.m. And hopefully most of you can participate in that. The expectation is that you will. If you cannot, because of scheduling constraints or other issues, we will also have a Canvas-based online discussion about the book. I will be posting prompts for discussion, which will probably be developed collaboratively at the face-to-face sessions. And those of you who cannot attend the in-person book club will be expected to participate in the online Canvas discussion. I have a vision that maybe our discussions will be so robust and wonderful that everyone will then move into the online forum to continue the discussion. But at the very least, if you cannot participate in the face-to-face session, you have that forum to develop discussion with your colleagues. I'm really looking forward to this. And you will get an email from me very soon about the dates and the process and the first set of reading assignments.
Well, now you know everything there is to know about being a mentor coach. And now it's time for you to take your quiz. It's very, very difficult. There are 5 questions. Kris couldn't pass it the first time.
Couldn't.
I couldn't pass it the first time. We are confident you can do it. But here's the rule. You must take it over and over until you get 100%. So we're pretty sure you'll reach that level.
I think you should read the guide before you take the quiz,
Yeah.
because the quiz is developed from the guide, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. So those 2 things go hand in hand. We will be getting the books out to you very soon, and Kris will be sending the email. On Canvas, we will put the list up of who you're matched with. We'll probably send that out in an email also. So within the first 2 weeks of classes, make contact with your mentee. They're looking forward to hearing from you. And I hope you have a great semester. We're going to have a great time. Right?
Right.
Yay!